welcome back. Okay, so tomorrow is Halloween, so happy Halloween. I am so excited. I love this time of year. I love dressing up and playing with makeup. As you can see, this year I will be a skeleton. I was also a deer a few days ago. But anyway, I go to a lot of get-togethers, Halloween parties, and stuff like that. So I thought I would take the time and show you guys a really easy just recipe for like the holidays. We're actually gonna be making kind of pizza rolls. And these are really fun, you know, finger food kind of things to take if you have a party or get together and you have to bring a small plate. Also, I'm going to teach you how to make some delicious cookie brownies. Y'all, I post these on my Instagram all the time, and every time somebody asks me for the recipe, I just haven't gone around to it. So today is the day. Here we go. So first things first, you are going to need one of these cupcake trays. I really wanted to find some with little skulls on them to match my outfit, but I only found some pumpkin ones, so we're just gonna go with that. I don't know if you guys can see them. There we go. You are going to need some pizza crust, some pizza sauce, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella, or any other cheese you prefer on pizza, and basil. So first things first, I actually already used one of these, so if you have something like this size and it comes with 6, just know that one of these is enough. I just bought 2 just in case. So I already cut them and I placed them in here. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of take turns putting cheese and the pizza sauce in there to make a really nice, just layers of goodness. So layer of pizza sauce, layer of cheese, and then layer of Parmesan cheese, and then you can put, I think, another layer. These things are really not as deep as they look. All right, and I like to add a little basil. I really like the taste of basil in my pizza. I'm a huge fan of like margarita pizza, but we're just doing cheese today, but I thought I'd add some. Now we're gonna add a little bit more pizza sauce on the top. Just like that. Now we're gonna add some more cheese on top of that. And we're gonna add some more Parmesan cheese on top. Like I said, if you like pepperoni or, I don't know, other stuff on your pizza, feel free to add those in. Usually when I take these to parties, I'll usually make like half of a tray like pepperoni and half cheese, or probably multiple trays because these are kind of big. All right, next you want to take the actual pizza crust that's left on the outside and just kind of want to put it on top of itself like this. Alright, this next step is really not going to matter unless you're using one of these cupcake things that have a design on the bottom. If you want to try, this pizza dough is a little hard to get to form into any specific like character, so I don't know if the pumpkins will show up that well. I've never really tried it with pizza dough before, but we're going to squish it down, squish all of them down so we can hopefully get as much impression as we can from this pan. And you want to set your oven to 400, which I already did. So these things are ready to go in. All right. Lastly, you want to set your bake time to 15 minutes. It only takes 9 to I think 8 to 10 minutes for the actual pizza dough to cook all the way. But this pizza dough that I bought, I've actually never used before. It's Pillsbury, and on the thing it suggests that you pre-bake it before you actually bake it. But you can't really do that when you're making something like this, because if you pre-bake it, then it'll like stiffen up on the inside and you'll kind of lose that opportunity to get that impression. So we're just gonna go 15 minutes and see what happens. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes and they look perfect. I turned the oven off and put it on broil on high for like a minute to get a really nice crispy top on them. But they look awesome. And don't worry if they kind of explode a little bit. That's just because we filled them way too much up with cheese, which is not an issue. So we're gonna let them cool and I'll show you the final product. So they actually turned out a lot better shape than I thought they would. They actually took the shape of the pan pretty well. See the little pumpkins? So this is what you're gonna end up with, and I'm gonna break it up for y'all so you can see. So good. All right, let's get to the dessert. Now for dessert, you are gonna need the family-sized chocolate chip cookie dough. You're going to need some fudge brownie mix, and you're going to need the family-sized pack of Oreos. You can change this recipe around if you prefer other cookies or prefer other cookie dough, but this is like the best combination. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your nonstick pan, or you can use the same one, and we're gonna take, I suggest you put gloves on. It's just easier to do all of this stuff with your hands. So you're gonna take the cookie dough, it's the first layer, you're gonna squeeze it to where it's a little flat, and you're gonna start filling these compartments. You wanna make sure that you squeeze it in there really well. You don't want it to fill up. You don't want it to be thick, is what I should say. This is only the first layer of 3. So this is what you're gonna end up with. Make sure you go as deep as you can to only leave a very thin layer of cookie dough. You're gonna do the same thing to all of your spots. Next thing you want to do is take your Oreos and separate the insides from the outsides, and you want to put the outside parts in a Ziploc bag, and you want to crush them together. So basically you're going to put this layer on first, and then we're going to sprinkle some of the actual hard Oreo pieces on top of that, and then goes the brownie. Why can't we just use like regular whole Oreos? Because we're using this mold and it's going to be very difficult for us to put more than one Oreo in here, so breaking it apart will give us that kind of crunch, that flavor, without limiting us. If you're using like a sheet pan, by any means don't go out of your way doing this. Just take the whole Oreo and just line them up. It works so well. So we're gonna take our filling and we are gonna add a thin layer over our first layer of cookie dough. This by no means has to look perfect at all. It's all gonna taste the same. And this is why you want to use gloves. Very sticky. Alright, so this is what you're going to end up with. Next, we are going to take the actual hard parts of the Oreo that we crushed, and we are just going to sprinkle some in each little spot. So next thing you want to do is kind of crush them, squeeze them into the filling and your cookie dough. You don't want to put too much in here because remember we still have to put brownie mix in here. So if we don't have space for the brownie mix, it's not as good. So just spread it out and then stick it all the way in there, like so. There we go. Last but not least, you want to mix, follow the instructions on your brownie mix. I always use this fudgy brownie mix because it's my favorite. But if you prefer to use any other brownie mix, or if you prefer to make your own from scratch, that is okay too. I just do not have time for that right now. So I actually already mixed it. I have our brownie mix, and I'm just gonna add the brownie mix to our little cups. This is what you're going to end up with. And I didn't mention this before, but on the first step when you're doing the cookie dough, don't be afraid if your cookie dough doesn't go all the way and doesn't cover all the sides. It's just depending on how you like it. This creates kind of like a crust all the way around, whereas like this one, it'll only have the cookie dough on the bottom. So just kind of play around with it and see what you prefer. You want to have your oven set to 350, and we want to actually stick these in for about 20 to 25 minutes. All right, it's been a little over 25 minutes. I kept checking it, and the consistency of the brownie just wasn't to the point that I wanted it until now. So, ooh. All right, so excited. Alrighty, they are out of the oven. I was able to get them out of the mold pretty easily. They actually took the shape pretty well. If you are into decorating, I suggest let them cool off, and then you can kind of go over like the eyes, the nose, and the mouth with either some frosting or some chocolate. And I also cut one in half so you can kind of see the layers. So brownie, you get the Oreo, and you get the cookie. Alright y'all, and that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everybody has a safe and happy Halloween, and I'll see you guys next time.